Now, today we're at the Mimosa Handcrafted Jewelry Warehouse, and I'm here with the fabulous owner, Miss Madeline Ellis, and she's going to walk us through how they make all of their fantastic jewelry.
What began as a passion project and a box filled with jewelry creations by designer Madeline Ellis has transformed into one of the state's most recognized and celebrated local jewelry lines. Embedded in rich local culture, environment, architecture, and spirit, Mimosa Handcrafted creates women's jewelry rooted in Louisiana and Texas history. Ellis says she began her career in landscape architecture, but found it to be demanding and kept her away from family. And she didn't have much to show for it right away.
I realized how not instant gratification it was. You would be working on projects for years before you actually saw anything implemented. But I could go home at night and make a piece of jewelry, and then at the end of the day have something, tangible.
Yeah.
So I, for a long time, it was just making for myself and friends, family, that kind of thing.
After the response she received from making jewelry for her family and friends, she decided to take a leap of faith and branch out.
Started doing the Baton Rouge Arts Market once a month, and then the experience of sharing the piece with other people and talking about it and then getting excited to make more, and then, that would generate more ideas. And then it was also kind of infusing everything that I learned from landscape, everything from design, scale, texture, color, all of that, but then also kind of the storytelling of the landscape.
From there, Madeline Ellis and Mimosa Jewelry has become a household name, with her jewelry being featured in places like Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, Caroline and Company, Birdwell, and even the old state capitol.
We are so blessed to have such a talented local company. And Madeline and her husband Dawson came here, and they were looking for inspiration and ideas, and we have plenty. And so I'm wearing one of the original pieces of Mimosa, which is a medallion that has an imprint or an outline of the building on it. And they were fascinated by the architecture, and so they have created a line of jewelry that's based on some of the signature elements in our building.
When we make a piece of jewelry, we take a mold of it, and the mold is like a silicone mold. So this machine right here will inject wax into the mold and then make a replica of the original wax carving that we did. So I can kind of show you. So this is the machine. All of the pieces are programmed. All the different molds are programmed for how much wax needs to be injected into it and the pressure of the wax that needs to go in. So we just set it in here. There's a little nozzle that lines up with the hole that goes into the mold.
It's so funny that just from a piece of wax, you make a beautiful piece of jewelry, whether you said it's 14 karat gold or sterling silver or even bronze. So what a process, right?
Yeah.
All right, so show us more. What do we have next?
Okay.
From there, the jewelry goes through a heating process to make sure it's fine-tuned and all of the rough edges are smoothed out, just before it goes through another buffing machine to make sure it's shiny and silky smooth.
So once everything is done in there, and it's smoothed up as much as we can get it, we'll bring it into this room where we have our big vibrating machines, like a tumbler. And
Great color.
Yeah. It's got this media that's got kind of like a grit to it. So all the jewelry will take a bath in here for 5 hours at least.
Okay.
And then once it comes out, it's got a really buttery smooth, texture to it. So
Okay.
At that point, then it's ready to head to the store.
Nice. All right, so shall we put it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the rest is history. Once the jewelry hits the store, patrons from all across the state and beyond can flock in to get their little piece of Louisiana.